Even if the best lawyer in the world prepared the agreement already and it's been through like 18 of the best lawyers over the last 10 years, the next lawyer will do something to change something to earn the money that they're going to charge you for the time they took to read the agreement.
I actually want to tell you one of the reasons that lawyers suck. And you'll excuse me for the lawyers that are listening to this, but there's a reason. Lawyers are encouraged throughout their career. In fact, the very people who go into law school are encouraged to avoid risk. After all, they've been told by their parents that being a lawyer is a good way to make a profession and that ultimately they'll have a happy life and everything else. They're naturally predisposed to not taking risks. Going this way is security and everything else. But then they go to law school, they're trained to examine risk. And then they also have the problem of authoritative voice. They learn to speak very much like I'm speaking right now, just kind of with an authoritative voice. Just, I know what I'm talking about, even if they don't, even if it's total BS, they have that. Mm-hmm. And so what happens is they present risk and downside, which is their job. But what so many lawyers fail to do, and this is really where I criticize them, is to explain to clients that while their job is important, there is another side to the equation, because risk is downside, but there's upside benefits. Usually that's actually what the realtor is actually promoting, the upside benefits. You come to the lawyer, there's the downside risks. And the whole idea is to have a lawyer that is able to contextualize risk whilst explaining that all of that contextualization has to be balanced as against the upside benefit. And it's incumbent upon the lawyer to not say, you listen to me with my authoritative voice because I am telling you the be all and end all, because they're only saying one half of the story. After all, lawyers don't know the value of property. They've never been on the side of a deal that ultimately is the upside. They're always sitting there going, well, this is what can happen. Let me examine title. Let me figure out this problem, whatever it is, instead of, hey, you can probably sell this in a year and make $100,000. That doesn't enter into their equation. And in the absence of that, you can't quantify risk, because risk has to be measured against reward. And so a good lawyer and a good real estate agent is able to say to the client, listen, I'm this role, they're this role. You have to be the party who actually melds the two pieces of advice. And the lawyer has to be non-obstinate enough to understand their role in this, such that when they give that advice, they say, now listen, there's an upside here. I'm here to explain the downside. You, the client, go ahead and figure this out, and we will support you in your decision with all the information at hand.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's exactly what I've heard from every single time. I mean, I guess it's just the majority of lawyers, because the client comes back and the advice is just like they've never even thought about, how this could benefit you as an investment. They've never thought about how, maybe that person won't, use litigation, in this type of situation. They've never thought about the whole negotiations of a deal here, where maybe we need to threaten to say we're willing to go to litigation in order to be able to get the deal done. It's always just very, hard nosed, follow the rules, don't breach the contract, make sure you do exactly what you say you're going to do. And that's what the client comes to me with. And then we have to sometimes unpackage that a little bit.
And you have to unwind it. You have to unwind all of that to say, okay, but let's remember the benefits.
Yes.
And that's fundamentally, that's the curse of kind of being a lawyer. It's that you're often acting as an anchor on a deal.
Not an anchor. You're a deal killer. Lawyers are known, especially I don't know so much about residential houses, but when you're doing land and assemblies and the lawyers get involved, I mean, it's like any lawyer, even if the best lawyer in the world prepared the agreement already and it's been through like 18 of the best lawyers over the last 10 years, the next lawyer will do something to change something to earn the money that they're going to charge you for the time they took to read the agreement, right? I'm not kidding. How many times, TK, do you have to unwind some stupid thing that a lawyer added into this thing that is so unnecessary, so out of context, will piss off the other side and really...
I put a deal together on the front porch one time. Next door neighbors. Neighbor sends me over, put the whole deal together on the front porch. We got a deal. Go back to them and I say, well, this is the fee in order for me to facilitate this transaction. What? You're going to charge me? Da, da, da. They went on and on and on. So I said, okay. I said, I understand you can go to the lawyers. Go to the lawyers. You don't need me. You guys will figure this out amongst yourself. It's downtown in Cabbagetown. And I just heard last week that the deal got killed and that now the sellers want more money and that the lawyers never got it happen. It was just... I had the whole, like, everything was done. It was simple. There was like 5 terms we needed to talk about, and then we had it all agreed to on the front porch. But when it went to the lawyers, and now there's no longer the intermediary who's got something to gain. You know, I got a commission to earn, so I got something to gain to be able to go back from one side to the next in order to be able to do it. That lawyer gets paid per hour. So he's just going to say, well, this is what you should be asking for because it's your right. And this is what you should be asking for because it's your right. And there's
what'd
no
you have for lunch today?
cooperation in like, how do we make both sides happy? So anyways, that's why I still have a job.
Are you looking for the best merch store on the planet? Well, we got the shit for you. Coming in at low prices where we barely make any money off of whatsoever, you can get the greatest real estate merchandise on this platform. Just look at this very flamboyant man putting on this great stuff. He looks great, he's dancing great, and boy does he look sexy in that merchandise. I tell you, buy this for anybody, you buy this for yourself. You will be not only repping the greatest Canadian real estate podcast in this world, but you will also be looking hella good doing it.